What's up, YouTube? Listen, I had an interesting conversation today at the gym. We were sitting in a steam room. Matter of fact, do me a favor, guys. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video on today. We got a lot to unpack. But yeah, guys, today inside the gym, we were sitting in a steam room and I had an interesting conversation with some old heads, okay? And I'm a young guy, but I like to insulate myself around old heads and wisdom. And I was listening to a conversation today, and you guys know by now that I love to talk about investing and building wealth to the stock market. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and make sure we do our daily. We purchase stocks on Mondays and Fridays around here as part of our 100K challenge. So if you want to join us in that, please consider doing so. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and buy a couple shares of VTI, okay? And just to stay consistent with what we do, what we teach on a daily basis. I'm having a conversation with some individuals, and they were talking about dialysis, going to dialysis 3-4 times a week. They was talking about hip replacements and just the medical issues they are having in their later years of life, and how that has impeded them from enjoying the retirement phase, or what should be a retirement phase. And then it came up as to whether or not working a 9 to 5 was a scam or not. Okay, and I thought that was just an interesting dynamic. I thought this would make for an interesting conversation that I wanted to have with you all on today. And so we're gonna do just that. All right. Now, you guys know by now I am a huge advocate for working, and I believe that you shouldn't despise your 9 to 5. Matter of fact, if you've been following me for any amount of time now, you know that I often say don't despise your 9 to 5, because my 9 to 5 was my first investor. My 9 to 5 allowed me to build the foundation properly so that I could eventually retire with a 7-figure net worth. My wife and I have been retired for several years now. And what allowed me to do that? It was actually working my job, okay? And I worked in education, for those that haven't followed my story or read any of my books or what have you, but worked in education, and again, that's what it did for me. But the topic was whether or not the working a 9 to 5 is a scam. Now, I want to hear from you guys. Let me know, do you believe working in your job is a scam? You work all these years just to retire with barely enough to make it. Inflation is going crazy. You don't know if you're going to have a pension or Social Security. And these individuals talk about how their healthcare expenses really wipes out any extra wealth they have accumulated. It was all taken away via health and medical expenses. Okay, they weren't able to live the quality of life they wanted to because they injured their back on the job, or they had a hip replacement, and so these things, these medical conditions, these ailments that now plague their life impedes on their overall well-being and overall happiness in the part of life that they really should be enjoying. Then here it is, me coming into the equation. They see me at the gym every morning, and you guys know I preach health is wealth. Yes, I am going to scream to the mountaintops on the importance of investing and building wealth and doing it the right way, the proper way through the stock market, okay? But I'm going to also talk about the importance of paying yourself first. I'm going to also talk about making sure you have an emergency fund, making sure you're maxing out your Roth IRA, giving you all the things that we don't get taught or told about along the journey. Okay, and so they see me come through and they're looking like, man, we're twice your senior and you and your wife are retired, okay, doing what we should be doing. But the difference is all your faculties are in place. You are healthy, you are fit, you are on top of your game, health-wise, spiritual-wise, financially, emotionally, physically. And so they're seeing the dynamic shift towards more people that are embracing financial independence, financial freedom, living within their means, but building their wealth, owning assets, ownership in general. I own my houses, for example. I own all my cars, for example. I own my businesses. I have over 17 streams of income. So they're seeing a new wave enter the equation. And it just posed the question, is the 9 to 5 a scam? And so I want to hear from you guys on what do you guys think? Do you think working a 9 to 5 is a scam, that you work all of these years just to barely make it in retirement, or the taxes is so high now, inflation is so high, things are so expensive that your dollar isn't even as powerful as it once was. It doesn't even purchase as much as it once purchased. Are those things reality? Do you guys feel working a 9 to 5 is a scam? I'm curious to know. Like I said, I can see both angles of that. I remember one thing for me that put me on the fast track to retiring young, accumulating a 7-figure net worth. I know that working, they put your money in a target date fund, or they put your money in those slow growing investments, those things that make you have to be on the job to 63, 69, and even later sometimes, depending on how late you got going with your investments. And I know long ago, years ago, I took over my own investments and I started buying VTI, what you guys saw me buy just right now in this video, okay? But I was also buying companies that I was very familiar with. I was buying blue chip companies. I was buying companies that I understood at a very, very high level and that I thought had longevity, credibility, staying power, okay? They were either disruptive, innovative, or they were going to be the wave for the next 5, 10, 15 years. And so by making those type of decisions 10, 12 years ago, I blew past what I was accumulating in my work 401k and my work 457B, for those that are educators like myself and worked in education. And so my wife would always say, Chris, your investments are 10 times what we made in working a job 10 plus years. And we were young professionals, but held high positions in the workplace when we were in the workplace before leaving and retiring young. Okay. And again, just controlling your own investments, knowing what to invest in, knowing how to invest, knowing the proper allocation, but more importantly, paying off your debt and things like that so that you had the money to invest were key on the journey. So guys, without going too deep into all of that, that's another video that I want you guys to stay tuned for. Things to do with your paycheck and after you get paid that I want you guys to make sure you check out. But I'm very, very curious as to what you guys believe. What do you guys feel? I want to hear from you down in the comments below. Okay, with that being said, man, regardless if you are working, you need to continue to work. Okay, yes, it may be a scam. Yes, there may be some things that you might not like about your job, but if you have people depending on you, you still need to provide. You need to provide a roof over their head. You need to provide food. You need to provide clothes. You need to provide the daily necessities needed for your children to thrive in this life, okay? And so that's number one. Number two, like I often say, don't despise your 9 to 5. It was actually my first investor. It is what allowed me to begin to build the building blocks towards my future that I am living in and thriving in right now, okay? Number three, it teaches you skills. It teaches you work ethic. It teaches you how to socialize, and you have to deal with various personalities, and it causes you to increase your EQ, your emotional intelligence, so that you can deal with different personality types and different type of scenarios that are going to try you and test your patience and things of that nature. So there are a lot of great things, and I don't think these individuals were against that, because one thing that work does, it gives you an identity. It gives you a sense of purpose and a sense of self-worth. It gives you something to get up for and go to each and every day, and it helps you make an honest living to provide for your family. So again, there's an argument on both sides, but I know a lot of people that are still currently working, and I'm interested and curious to hear your thoughts, especially based around this conversation that I had with some of my OGs and some of my old heads today, and just letting them shed light on me, you know what I'm saying, as they talk about the dialysis and the health issues and the medical expenses and all those things that take away from their quality of life, and how now at the end of the road, they are questioning, was it all the way worth it? Okay. And so do me a favor, guys. Definitely want to know how you feel. Please do me a favor and drop some comments below. But more importantly, please make sure you like and subscribe and join us on the journey. And if you haven't joined us for the 100K challenge yet, please consider doing that as well. I'm going to teach you how to invest and build wealth in the stock market, as well as how to trade options on your journey. Okay. If that sounds good to you, please make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.